Well, earlier, a rocket attack on the northern Israeli town of Kiryat Shmona killed at least 2 people. Several of the rockets hit buildings, causing fires. Hezbollah says it targeted a gathering of Israeli forces with a barrage of missiles. Israeli media say the military is investigating why its defence systems failed to intercept the rockets. US President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have held their first phone call in weeks. It comes amid reported tensions after Israeli Defence Minister Yoav Gallant postponed a visit to Washington. Israel is considering its response to the recent Iranian missile attacks. Well, for more on all of this, we're going to bring in Nour, who's in Jordan, Jordan's capital, Amman, because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting in the occupied West Bank and from inside Israel. First of all, we'll get to Biden and Netanyahu's call in just a second, but can you just briefly run us through this rocket attack that killed 2 people in Israel and how concerned the military there will be about its defence system being breached again?
Well, it's one of 3 rocket attacks or barrages of rockets that we've seen on Israeli cities today. One in Kiryat Shmona that killed 2, another on the Bay of Haifa that injured 12, including 1 quite critically, and a third of about 90 rockets, according to Israeli military sources, that targeted Safed. There were direct impacts on some buildings. No residents were injured. But this is very concerning, not just because the defense systems failed several times to intercept all the rockets, but also because there are some civilians who remain in those northern areas. They were encouraged by the Israeli government, who said that it's launching this offensive against Lebanon in order to allow for the return of those who have left so that they can resume their normal lives. Now they feel that they need to leave those communities and head further south in order to be safer and away from the reach of the rockets so far. But those rockets, we have to say, have been intensifying, not just in number, but also in reach. We see them reaching deeper and deeper into Israel as the Israeli assault on Lebanon intensifies.
Yeah, Nour, as we mentioned, Netanyahu has spoken to both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I mean, it's been more than a month since they last spoke. Iran, no doubt, was top of the agenda.
It was. It must have been, because the Israelis need American support, political support, but also logistical support. Israel cannot attack Iran without U.S. backing. And so the discussions have to be quite thorough and detailed with the American administration, because, again, this alliance that Israel can count on or needs to count on in order to defend itself from possible Iranian retaliation wouldn't exist without the United States. So there are no details about the specifics of the discussions. But if you listen to Israeli media, to discussions by senior analysts of security background in Israeli media, you would see discussions about whether it would be smart to target, for example, the oil refineries. Would Iran retaliate by also attacking Arab countries? So those are the kinds of discussions that are happening about what to attack, not when.
OK, thanks so much, Nour. Nour Odeh for us there in Amman. Well, let's bring in Elijah Magnier. He's a military and security analyst. He joins us once again. Thank you very much. First of all, Hezbollah has released new drone footage from over Israel. Can you just run us through exactly what it shows and how significant it is?
The timing is highly significant because, first, it's humiliating to the Israelis. The drone is flying over many areas in Israel, above Haifa, above the interception system around Haifa, the interception system that defend also Tel Aviv, in a time where Israel is conducting an invasion of Lebanon, and the Air Force has a total dominance over Lebanon and over the Israeli territory. And then we see this drone coming in and returning, providing the information at a time when Israel believed and claimed that they have destroyed Hezbollah's capability.
On that point, I mean, Israel must have known that it had much more work to do if it really wanted to destroy all of Hezbollah's capability. I mean, we've just been watching some of the footage that Hezbollah has released. So what's the next step for Hezbollah in this? I mean, before we get to that, actually, I want to ask, why did they release it? Are they giving something away by doing it, or is it just part of the propaganda war?
It's an excellent question. First of all, this drone carries several layers of messages. Starting the propaganda war, as you rightly said, it's something that indicates a position of power but not weakness. Therefore, they're telling the Israelis, you have not weakened us and we are back in control. And these operational room that we have seen at the beginning of the drone indicate that with all the personnel, they are guiding the drone, collecting the information, collecting bank of objectives. Secondly, they show specific locations of different bank of objective, which means they have the precision missiles to hit these targets. And they are telling the Israelis, in Haifa, there are 1 million people living there. Israel displaced 1,200,000 Lebanese Shia from the Bekaa Valley, from the suburb of Beirut, and from the south of Lebanon. Actually, Israel can no longer harm the society that protects Hezbollah. Now it is time for Hezbollah to displace the Israelis. In Haifa, there are 1 million people, and Benjamin Netanyahu said he wants to bring back the Israeli to the northern borders, and now Hezbollah is saying, well, you will have at least another 1 million refugees.
Yeah, we're just looking at the drone footage here. I mean, how do we know that it was filmed recently? I mean, this could be file footage that was done on a previous drone mission months and months ago.
Excellent question, because we have seen Hezbollah indicating hospitals, indicating bridges where there are field hospitals, that they were not there. And because Benjamin Netanyahu asked all the hospitals in the south of Lebanon to be evacuated, there's no point in showing something that is irrelevant as a military asset unless they're telling the Israelis, as you have forced the evacuation of our hospital, this is what's going to happen to your hospitals. And they have also indicated institutions as a target, malls as a target, and the finance, the economy, the industry. We've seen oil depot, chemical depot. So they are telling Benjamin Netanyahu and the people of Haifa, you are going to evacuate.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll have to leave it there, but we really appreciate all of your analysis.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.